Hello, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast. I'm Ross Thompson, owner of the Barbell Club Durham, Sunderland Concert and our Global One-to-One online program. So I'm going to do another solo one today, and I'm just going to go through a few different topics. Hope you like them. This might be me going on a little rant here, but it's just some things what I always hear within the fitness industry, what people think they want from programming and what they think they want from life in general for health and fitness goals. So one of the ones is why people still think cardio is the answer. Now we get people say apply for our program and they ask if there's any cardio involved, and there isn't. There's none here. We are a weightlifting only program. We want to get you stronger, fitter and healthier for life. So when you are lifting weights, your heart rate is going through the roof, especially on legs day. So your cardiovascular system is actually working. Now, generally when people are saying they want cardio, it's because they think that cardio is going to burn more calories. But when you have sufficient muscle mass, you're burning more calories at rest, more than you would when you're just doing cardio alone. Now, cardio is great, don't get us wrong, cardio is brilliant, but you don't need it to lose weight, be healthy, be fit. Now, I don't do any whatsoever. I would say my cardio itself is my steps, my activity levels. At this current moment in time, I'm doing about 14,000 steps per day. That's average this year alone. We're in August now, and it's been that average there. And that keeps my fitness levels up there because I'm always active. And that's the key thing. If you're active and you're getting your steps in, then you don't need to be doing cardio on top. What you want to be doing is adding mass to your frame so that later in life, you'll be constantly stronger. You won't lose your muscle mass, because one of the biggest deteriorations of health is losing your muscle mass, and that's not what you want. Now, if you just think, right, I'm just going to go for running, well, that's going to lose muscle mass on top of obviously you're going to lose a lot of fat, but you're going to lose muscle mass as well because you'll probably be in that calorie deficit. So you don't need cardio to get the physique and the health benefits of what you're always striving for. So lift some weights, stop thinking that you've got to do endless running or joining boot camps, what just have no structure whatsoever. They're just there to drag you into the floor, to make you sweat and think, oh, I've done a good workout, when you haven't, because you haven't seen the progression. And this is where weightlifting comes in, where you can constantly see that progression in the numbers of what you're lifting. So cardio is not the answer. So stop thinking it is. If you want to argue with us or argue with me coaches on it, just comment below. Now, why scales ruin people's progress? Bit of a touchy subject, the scales, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, if you want to get lean, those scale numbers have got to go down. And when people start out and they think, oh, I'm not losing weight, I'm not losing weight, so I must be gaining muscle. You're not, okay? Like it's a lot harder to actually gain muscle than it is to lose weight. So I think everybody's got to get over themselves and stop, especially if you're on a fat loss mission and you've got to step on them scales. Now, when people say they have a bad relationship with the scales, they don't have a bad relationship with the scales. They're just shit at dieting. That's as simple as that. They have not been in a calorie deficit for long enough or tried hard enough to actually lose the weight. Now, losing weight does take time. If you think about it, you have probably been overweight for, this is just randomly guessing, it could be anybody, but you've probably been overweight for 20 years. And then you think you're going to be able to get these incredible results within 2 weeks, or you twist and you moan, I haven't lost weight. Well, you're not fucking trying hard enough. And that's as simple as that. You're not eating lean enough and you're not moving enough. And that's all what a calorie deficit comes down to, is moving more and eating less. And we all know what shit food is. And if you think 5 days of being what you call good and then just doing what you do on the weekend is sufficient enough for you to continuously lose weight, Well, it isn't, and that's why the scales tell you straight up of what it is. So I've been maintained for the last 3 months, a bit longer now, but 4 months, like completely maintained weight. So whatever I'm consuming, I'm burning. And like I said, I've been on 14,000 average steps, and I'm going to guesstimate that I'm eating about 3,000 calories per day, and I'm only 76 kilos. So that means I'm burning that, but I'm also eating that, because that's what the scales tell me throughout. So, and that is pure science, that's pure facts. And what I do is I weigh myself twice a week, and I put it into our app just to make sure that I'm always on point. At this moment in time, I'm not actually tracking my food. But because I'm doing those bi-weekly weigh-ins, I know that if I did go a little bit higher, then I would just bring it down just that little bit the next week. I wouldn't go as wild on my food. I probably wouldn't eat out as much. I wouldn't eat a cornetto extra, which I've been loving at the minute, by the way. What are the pistachio cornettos, absolutely unreal. But like, so say something like that, it's probably about 200 calories. I would just like, okay, right, you're not having them. I'm cutting down on them until that weight levels back off, because that is my goal at the minute to maintain. But the scales don't bullshit you. So you do have to step on them more. And if you are coming in at the same weight all the time, then you're not trying hard enough on your diet. You're not trying hard enough on your activity levels. Maybe you are tracking, but your tracking's probably shit. Most people's tracking is absolute dog shit. So you've got to retrack everything. Make sure that you are weighing your foods, because if you're not weighing, you're just guessing. And if you're guessing, well, it'll tell you on the scales. So weigh yourself more often as well. If I was on a weight loss journey, if I was bigger, if I was a bigger person just starting out on my weight loss journey, I'd weigh myself every single day, every single morning, exactly the same time, under the same circumstances, so I could see those patterns, so I could see it. Yes, it's going to go up and down. It always is going to go up and down. You could have had a little bit too salty of food, too high a carb food. Carbs aren't bad, by the way. It just holds a little bit water. So yeah, just get over the scales, keep standing on them, especially if you are on a fat loss journey, and that isn't going to ruin your progress. It's you in your head who's going to ruin your progress, because the scales are the truth, and the only person to blame then is you for what you're consuming, for what you're not burning, and if you're tracking is shit, okay? So why do people quit too early? Because we live this Amazon lifestyle. We live in a world of Amazon, next day delivery, now. If a business doesn't get back to you within 10 minutes, you hate that business. You move on to the next thing. We live in this fast-paced life. We're fucking on our TikTok and Reels and everything. It's like boom, now. Now with quitting, it's generally because you haven't seen progress early enough. Like back to those scales weight. If you haven't lost 5 pounds in a couple of weeks, you think it's not working. All of these things take time. It's like it took you 20 years to say put weight on. It ain't going to happen overnight. And this is one of the reasons why people quit early. It's like, even within our barbell club, it's like some people have quit because they haven't seen the strength increase fast enough. Well, it's like, we can't do anything about that. We've got the best programming in the world, and we know how to progress you. Some people progress faster than others because they have a bit more mass. A heavier person actually has more strength because they've had to have muscle mass to carry around all of that fat mass as well. So if you are like, say, a smaller person, it is going to take that little bit extra time to build muscle, because you've got to be then sufficiently feeding your muscles enough. You've got to be eating more calories to actually gain that mass in the process as well. And I mean, for an example, I've just wrote up a thing about one of our members, Michelle. She's been with us for 3 years now. She started with us online and then moved into in-house because our weights ran out in the house of like how much she was actually lifting. So she came into her in-house, and then it's been an absolute slow burner for her. Like I said, she's a small person, so she hasn't been like lifting some of the weights what the other people do, but she has just slowly built up over time, building those reps up, building those weights up, slow, 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 and then she leaned out. And whenever we see you lean out, you're not going to gain that much mass, if any at all. And then she leaned out, got to a point, and it was like, right, well, she wants to look better. So then it took another 10 months of like adding in a lot more calories. God, she was like, maybe it's up to 2,500 calories. And this is for somebody who weighs 50 kilos. So 2,500 calories, doing that for 10 months, and then to diet again to see what she's actually built. And she looked incredible. And if I told you now, like in 3 years' time, you could look like Michelle does. And I'll be totally honest, like Michelle, like isn't like ripped and shredded. I mean, you can see her abs a little bit there. Lovely tone everywhere across her body, looking absolutely brilliant. But she's still not like stage ready lean or anything like that. I mean, she's 47-year-old. So at her age as well, it just takes that little bit longer. And if I was to tell you, like, this is where you're going to be in 3 years' time, you'd be like, oh, I'm not going to bother. I'll just quit. It just takes far too long. It's understanding when it comes to physique, fitness levels, that these things take a lot longer than you actually think. Even for me, I'm nearly 42. If I was to like now, because I've been lifting a lot of years as well, like if I was to try and add mass, like I'd honestly say, okay, to put 3 to 5 pounds of lean mass, I'd have to go on a full year of like really going for it, like hammering like a lot of food, adding a lot of fat, and then to lean out again to see what I look like. And in a year, 3 to 5 pounds of mass, like at a push probably, because of me age, because of me lifting experience. And it'd be tough as well, but I know that in my head. So sometimes it's like, you've got to sort of be happy of where you're at, especially if you've been doing this like a lot longer. But people do quit too early because they don't see it soon enough. So if you are starting out on this journey or wanting to start out on this journey, just know it's going to take a long time. Know that you do have to put the work in. And then you're going to find, like when you do actually put the work in, you're going to find a big respect for all these people who have got these amazing physiques, and you can think, fucking hell, like you look good. Now you will see a lot of younger people on your Instagrams and all the rest of it who just look great. They've done it from a young age. They've got age on the side. They were probably lean to start with, so they've just had to add the mass. So when you see all these younger people who are in amazing shape, and a lot of them do take enhancements as well, which I never have and never would. And all these people who do take those enhancements to look great and all the rest of it, they've bumped it up that notch as well, which I wouldn't recommend. But it just takes time. And whatever age you're at now, like think it is going to take time. We've got like a lot of older people in the gym. Deb's a 60-year-old now. To get to where her physique is now, she looks strong, she looks powerful. She's been leaner in the past, but now she's like, you can tell she really trains. But she's put in, I think it's like 8 years of starting with us, just turning up every week, hitting her protein goals, training with us 4 days a week, and now she's got the physique like what most young people would love to have, and that's at 60-year-old. So just know it's going to take time. Obviously, Deb took 8 years to get to where she is now, and she still continuously improves in that time as well. So don't quit, keep going with it, and eventually you'll get the results you want. Motivation is overrated. Yep, entirely. Motivation, a lot of people, like, when they message us, they'll be like, I want to be motivated. Well, it's like, it's only you who can be motivated to do something. Just because you've seen some person with a bloody a perky arse on Instagram, and like you have that little momentary bit of motivation to like, oh, well, I want to do that. It has to be an internal thing. It has to be, I think it has to come from a bit of pain, to be fair, of like where you do sort of hate what you see in the mirror, or hate that you can't get up off the floor when you're playing with your kids, or hate being, say, the fattest parent in the playground, like when you're picking the kids up. anything along those lines, like, then that isn't a motivation. It's more of a tool of like, fuck, I've got to do something about it here. But those momentary motivations and asking people for motivation, it just doesn't exist. Momentary motivation does exist. You could be on your way to the gym and like you can't be asked, but then Eye the Tiger comes on the radio and it's like, fucking let's go. And you get a good session in, but then obviously that motivation drops and then you've got to sort of find that motivation again the next day. But it's the same again, it's like understanding it's not about being motivated to do it, it's just about doing it. And it's about doing the things when times are hard, times are tired, when you don't have time, even when you don't have any money, get out for a fucking walk. Just do it. Whatever you want, as long as you know those 1% are like improving your health, then that's where you've got to go. Because motivation, it's momentary. And you've got to find those internal factors of your why you want to do this. Now, for me, I never have to feel, or do I have to feel motivated? There's a question in there. I don't have to feel motivated to do this. Like, I know that even though I am not making like significant progress anywhere in the gym or anything like that, I know that me doing my 4 weight training days per week is keeping me stronger, fitter, healthier for life, and keeping the physique what I have, which I've finally come to really enjoy. Like, I'm not bothered about taking my top off in public. I'll happily take my top off all year round as well. Not that I would, because it's constantly winter in the UK. So it's finding that internal thing of why, and I would say my why at the minute is just to look good, be strong, keep what I've got, and yeah, just enjoy it. I actually enjoy the training side of things, but I don't feel motivated. I don't need to feel motivated to do it. I do it because I've got to do it, and you yourself have just got to keep that little fire alive of like, this is something I have to do, and make it a habit. So why gyms make beginners feel intimidated? I think it's a bit of a misconception. I think that every gym out there, people are lovely, and I think people are welcoming. And I think because of today's Instagram, I suppose, of like where there is the female type influencers on there saying this guy is looking at me in the gym and he was checking me out and all the rest of it, where they're just doing that generally to get views, because most people who a gym goes often want to help people. I bet you could walk into any gym and say, could you spot us on here? Could you help us on here? Could you help us push out a few reps? People would help you. And especially like the local independent gyms, like they're all about community. And that's not just us, that is every gym I know. They are all about community, and they want you to make you feel as welcome as possible. I think it's daunting starting stuff. I did have one, I just had a woman message the other day just saying, I've just got a massive fear of it. And I think you're only ready until you're ready. And I think same, like once the pain becomes a thing and you know you've got to do something about it, then you've just got to get over that fear. Pick up the phone to somebody, drop somebody a message. Like for us, we always start with a phone call just to make sure that this is right for you. And Sarah will walk and talk you through the program. And it's just one of them misconceptions of where, honestly, you will be okay. Like, you might be the biggest in the room, you might be the weakest in the room, but it doesn't matter. There's probably 100 people who went to that gym before you who was also that person, and they had to get over that initial fear of getting in. So I would never, if you are a beginner, don't ever feel intimidated by anything, by any gym. I honestly think you could walk into any gym and people would be very welcoming. People would help you out. Nobody's looking at you. When you think people are looking at you, all they're concerned about is themselves. If you think you're in a room, I love this example. So when you're in a room, a party or whatever else, you're always thinking, oh, what will people think of me? Are people staring at us? Like, what am I wearing? And they're looking, you think that they're looking at you, when in their head, that's all they're thinking as well. We only live in our own universes, and that person is thinking exactly the same thing as you. Is everyone looking at us? Blah, blah, blah. No one is like super confident and like, look at me. It doesn't work like that. People are in these environments, whatever situation you go in, we're always thinking about what other people are thinking about us. So nobody is staring at you. Nobody's judging you. I mean, honestly, one of the best things I actually see for beginners is I'll see like an overweight person running out on the street, and automatically that person might think, I mean, by the way, hats off if they have went out, that they probably think, oh, everyone's staring at us, I'm big, I'm fat, I'm running and all the rest of it. But when I see somebody like that, I'm like, get the fuck in. Like, and I don't even like running. That's the weird thing. I don't even like running. But I know that person has had to get over that fear and just go for it. And they're doing something about it, and they're doing it out in public, not giving a fuck. Well, they probably are. They're going through all them internal thoughts. But for someone like me, I see you're out there, I'll fucking cheer you on, happy days, and a lot of other people will. So you'll always get an arsehole. You'll always get an arsehole what they do and anything like that. But that has a reflection on them. They have their own internal demons and their own thoughts about themselves. And if they've got to bring people down, fuck them. Like, what kind of life is that? It's like all these trolls on the internet. It's like, why do they have to say nasty things about people when them are definitely, like, there's something going on with them? So never feel intimidated, especially if you're a beginner. I know that most gyms out there will really help you out. Now, this last one, I think it ties in with everything I've just said. Stop chasing 6-week transformations. I thought they were a thing in the past, to be fair. We used to do 8-week transformations, 90-day transformations. I mean, we do sign people up to like a 3-month program, but that's like a minimum term thing. We see that as a trial more than anything. But these 6-week transformations out there, there was always a big one, a local one to us. 6 weeks, lose £20, get your money back. I don't even know if it's still going. If it is, it's fucking morally wrong. But stop chasing them, because nothing, like, yeah, you'll get good results. You'll starve yourself. You'll sweat yourself into the ground. And then after that 6 weeks, you'll put all the fucking weight back on. And they should be gone. I truly believe they should be gone, because they don't learn you any habits. They give you a meal plan. They say, stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. And then what do you do after that? Don't get us wrong. There'll be some coaches who can guide you after that, but you haven't learned enough habits within that short amount of time to be able to continue them on for life. So if you ever see an advertisement for a 6-week challenge or a 4-week or a 21-day cut, whatever it is, know that it's bullshit. Or if you are just needing a big kick up the arse, it might be okay. But you've got to go in with open eyes of like, this isn't 6 weeks, this is forever. I know that's hard to comprehend, but the story where I said about Michelle, like, takes that long to get to X amount for the physique. That's how you've got to look at it. So hopefully I've educated you on the fact that it does take that longer to get to there. But 6 weeks transformations, they need to be stopped. They need to be stopped now. Find a place where, is this me advertising my own place? Probably. But find a place. Obviously, we do sign people up for 3 months. I'm sure there'll be other places where they'll sign you up for like a 3-month stint, because we can get enough in that 3 months to be able to show you what we're all about, to see if you do fit in our community, to see if weightlifting is what you really enjoy. Because at the end of the day, you might be a cardio person and you might not like it whatsoever. But then see if you fit into that community. See if you can see yourself doing this forever, because that's why we do weightlifting, because it is something where you don't have to gear yourself up for. Imagine waking up 6 in the morning thinking, shit, I've got like 100 burpees to do within this session, a 5k run and blah, blah, blah. Where you can come in, do 1 set, minute and a half rest, do another set, have a coffee. That's how I see weightlifting. So the 6 week stuff, be good for a kick up the arse, I suppose, but see it as more of a long-term thing, and don't think of it as a fixed thing. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't even use it as a holiday, because that in itself is a mega bad habit of you getting fixed within 6 weeks just so you can put weight on again when you're on your holiday. It's like all these people who do lose that 20 pounds or whatever in a 6-week challenge, whatever it is, transformation, they will go on holiday, put that weight back on, and like, this is not good for your long-term health. Like, yo-yo dieting, we all know, is bad, and this is what they promote, yo-yo dieting, just to keep getting you back in, to keep doing these 6-week transformations, when we need to be seeing this as long-term and for life. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you'd like to subscribe, like, comment, do it below. And if you want to join into any of our programs, there'll be a link below this video. Just click the link, get yourself a call put in with Sarah to work with us in Sunderland, Durham, Concert, or with our global one-to-one online program. I'm Ross from Behind the Bar Podcast and the Barbell Club. Thanks for watching.